NikkieTutorials, an amazing makeup artist, beloved YouTuber, and pretty much partial Dutch teacher, if you watch any of her videos, is not launching a makeup line like we would expect. She's launching a skincare line, and apparently she's funding this herself. She just launched this video called I Am Launching My Own Brand, Nimya or Nimya by NikkieTutorials, and right now they only have 4 products. I want to dive into the ingredients, the price points, what this brand is even aiming to do, and whether or not it is worth your money, or if this is just another giant cash grab, as Dr. Dre has called Jennifer Aniston's new line. I swear to God, it's like you blink and there's another celebrity slapping their face on a product line. That being said, I do think NikkieTutorials brings something slightly different to the market, but it's very important to note that even though I am a fan of NikkieTutorials, the product is not the same as the person. So I'm going to try my best to remove all bias, but again, humans are naturally biased, so take me at what I can do. I'm going to attempt to remove that and just look at this from a product standpoint and see what's actually in these. Is it a cash grab? Is it any good? As a medical esthetician who has worked with doctors and dermatologists and puts my hands in tons of skincare and has experience in marketing, cosmetic manufacturing, formulation, etc., I want to see what the is going on here. And like the big question is, why skincare and not makeup? Let's watch Nikkie's video.
Hello guys, it's me, Nikkie. Hello. I can finally share that I have my very own brand, Nimya! And in this video right here, I am gonna tell you everything, how we started this journey, how the journey is going, and when you can actually join the journey. All right, let's go! Okay, where to even start? For over 3 years ago now, Wes, my manager, and myself, who's now my manager and business partner, hey! For the longest time in my career, people were like, girl, when are you coming out with your own products? So I was like, you know what? No, I am not ready for that. The world is scary, and the cosmetics world is even scarier. And throughout the years, so many brands and investors came up to us and were like,
well, do you want to build a brand or no?
Every single time, it didn't feel like the right time. But then a couple of years ago, over 3 years ago now, Wes and myself sat down and we were talking about goals of the future. And he was like, why don't we do it? And I said, you are crazy. You're fired. But over 3 years ago, I thought, why not? You know, why not take a chance? Why not see what I can offer to this community? And now I hear you thinking, but girl, literally every other week there's a new brand. And I know we don't need another brand. In the words of Miss Gaga herself, we don't need another beauty brand. But here we are.
She's right, and at least she's aware of it. Now, something that she spoke about is that this took over 3 years to create, and it sounds like they are doing it where she actually has input into the brand. If we compare this to something like a Kylie Cosmetics, it's literally somebody that slaps their name on something. And we've actually done a deep dive on the psychology and sociology of celebrity billboards. This idea that someone like Jessica Simpson can create a dessert, skincare, edible makeup line, and then someone like Paris Hilton can do it. And these celebrities that don't really have a personal involvement in this field just slap their names onto beauty or personal care or lifestyle products. And when is that really inauthentic versus when is it actually something that's real? Something else that Nikkie mentions is that she has worked on this herself. It sounds like that she's got investors who have approached her. I don't think people understand how the angel investing or IPO worlds kind of work, but if you want a video on that, and specifically when it comes to beauty brands and funding, how someone can actually pitch their ideas to investors or get angel investors or corporate investors, how you can go for different schedules and series of funding. It is fascinating. And Nikkie mentioned that she's been burned before. I wonder if she'll ever share that story. I've personally been burned, and that is not a story that I have chosen to share yet, but is it a story? It sounds like Nikkie actually worked on this, and it did happen within her team. And I think that when someone has creative control, it gives them a bigger sense of responsibility. It's not just like, oh, I slapped my name on this, and oh, someone else created it, and like, I'm gonna put my face on it now. This sounds very interesting, but again, do the products hold up? Is she going to launch skincare later? Because right now, it looks like skincare and eye cream and a fan. And I've got thoughts and my own fan.
We were like, let's see if we can make the products that you're missing out on in your routine. Let's see if we can make them even better. And then let's go from there. We didn't even start off as like, oh my God, we're building a NikkieTutorials brand. No, it started off as, what am I missing? What can I improve that's already existing? And then make it better. And from that, more products came out and more products started developing. And now I feel like I'm in a candy land and I want to try it all. So I hear you thinking, girl, what are these products you've been working on for 3 years? Well, let me tell you. Instead of coming out with like an entire collection, an entire line, we really took our own pace and looked at products that we wanted to perfect for as long as they needed the time to be perfected. And you guys, real honesty, all the years, people like big investors wanted to invest in me, have a cut in this brand, and it never felt right. Not because I necessarily want all the money myself, but I don't trust people. I don't trust people. So I want you to know that I'm putting my own money on the line here. No huge investors, no big companies behind us that are pushing us or making us, come up with a product every 2 to 3 months. This is my money.
I don't think people realize what a big deal this is. Again, when you are looking at product manufacturing and development, R&D alone can cost $30,000. Then, once you have that product developed, you have to purchase a certain amount to actually fulfill an order. And then you have to sell that before it goes bad or rancid. And that's why we love preservatives, so that products are preserved and don't go rancid. But what is your COGS, your cost of goods sold, right? Are you actually making a profit on any of these? And that's why a lot of companies are usually negative, and so many, like 90% of companies fail, especially consumer direct-to-consumer products, because you are selling direct to a consumer instead of to another company. And that's why so many companies do go for this venture capital funding or funding in which other people swoop in and they bring in their expertise. And doing it on your own is a huge feat, and it also means that you are solely responsible, or the business is solely responsible. I don't think people realize what a big deal this is that she's doing it herself, and how shocking it is that she's actually launching with 4 products instead of just 1. Because when you don't have that kind of corporate partnership, you have to find the laboratory yourself. You have to make sure that you're working with someone in R&D that you trust. Love NikkieTutorials. I know that she personally is very great with makeup. I've never heard her speak intelligently about skincare ingredients or about formulation. So does she actually know what's going on here? And I think my other question is this a skincare line meant to support makeup, or is this a skincare line meant to help with conditions or be skincare? We will find out. But if you also see people like Jeffree Star or Kylie Cosmetics coming out with the birthday collection or the orgy collection, there's this constant flow and push of products, and it almost makes us as consumers overwhelmed. And I think it's very interesting that she doesn't have that pressure, and I'm interested to see what's going to come out because of this, or what's not going to come out because of this.
I am putting myself up for a lot here. To do it on your own, you need a lot of money. And when your girl's been saving up for a lot of money, she got robbed at gunpoint. And that's when money flies out of the window. Literally. So maybe we could have launched sooner. But hey, some other people had other plans for me in life. Oh, we're laughing at trauma. It's the only way to grow.
Yeah, I forgot she was like robbed at gunpoint and then exploited on the internet, like with her personal information and blackmailed. What this girl has gone through, like, that is tenacity. That is perseverance right there. Separating again the person from the brand, but you have to admit that is a lot to go through. And to be working on something in spite of that, I don't know. Personally, I respect it.
So here we are, the moment you've all been waiting for. It is time to dive into these iconic, I call them iconic already, but I'll let you be the judge. Gonna introduce you to my babies, Are you ready? This is the Nimya. Been waiting for over a year to do this. Cooling eye stick. This is an instant depuffing cooling eye stick. Now this is what dreams are made of. When you open the box, look, that's us. But then when you open it, that's me, honey. And when you look on the inside, that's me again, baby. We have little tips and tricks hidden right here. Don't just throw this box away. There's a lot of fun stuff hidden inside. And isn't that always the case? All the fun stuff is hidden inside.
Okay, packaging and component, a lot of work went into this, and you can tell. The price actually goes up substantially when you print inside and outside of a package. The question is, do we really need another motherfucking eye stick? I hate eye creams, and you know why. You know what? I'm not even gonna bitch about why. Let's insert why. Let's insert it in Spanish, for God's sake. Note, if I have it in Spanish, then do it in Spanish, and if I don't have it in Spanish, then don't do it in Spanish. We don't need another eye stick. Now, cooling, what does this mean? Is this menthol? Is this going to be irritating to the eyes? Or menthol is also an analgesic because it binds to TPRM8 receptors within our skin for touch, cold, and heat sensation. And it can be an analgesic and help with pain, but is that just going to irritate the eye area, especially if you have fragrances? She's probably making an eye stick because most eye creams suck, and it's because they are overpriced moisturizers. Literally, use a moisturizer here. Now, we do have to look at the ingredients, we have to see what's going on here, but I will also admit that if there's anyone who does use an eye cream that I'm not pissed off about, like as long as you know the marketing bullshit and quackery behind it, it would be someone that does it for the texture and the feel and how makeup lays over it. And that's kind of what Nikkie does, right? It's makeup. I'm assuming this line is the purpose of creating a base for makeup. That's what I'm kind of seeing right now. And in that case, I could see why you would want a different cream under the eyes, especially if you have a little bit more crepiness or crow's feet here, you want makeup to stick differently if you're using a concealer or a highlighter. Why that might be different than the moisturizer or primer that you use on the rest of your face to cover up acne or scar texture or things like that. Very interesting. We're gonna have to dive into the ingredients.
It gives such a cooling sensation that it just wakes you up.
Wake up, Pearl.
It's great to moisturize your eyes. It just really nourishes everything. You know, dry, flaky under eyes, we don't know her. You want to sweep this from outer to inner corner. Give yourself like a nice little spa moment in the morning, but it's also a great under eye primer for makeup. I think with everything that I'm coming out with, there's so many uses to our products that, you know, there's more than just the product. It has so many like little tips and tricks that I can't wait for you to try. Twist her up and she is a clear sort of gel. The most fun thing for me is we had quite a few people try these, and I think the biggest surprise to me is that men love this. You know, they say that men don't care about skincare and all that. They do once they try this.
Skincare is self-care and hygiene, and guess who needs hygiene? Homo sapiens, humans. That includes men and non-binary friends. Very interesting that she mentions this. This reminds me of that cucumber stick from Physicians Formula, and she does mention go outside to inside. This is because there's probably something in here that could be slightly irritating, and concentration, right? If you do it here, more concentrated than out here. That's why you want to go out to in, because there's more resilience and thicker skin, and you're outside of the orbit or the eye area out here, and then you go in. Interesting.
Some people even said that it helps relieve their eyes from hay fever. This is just cooling, you know, it's peaceful. It relaxes stressed eyes. Because in a world full of labels, why grab the label stressed eyes? This can't say it any other way. If you ever post about this, you gotta do it. Cooling eye stick retails for $22. Before we move on to the next product, I do want to let you know that on its own, it already has a beautiful cooling sensation. But if you really want to take it to the max, store this bad boy in the fridge, take it out in the morning, put it on your eyes, or put it whatever you want on your face.
I was going to say, you could put any eye cream or moisturizer in the fridge and have a cooling sensation, but this does sound like a prep for makeup. Now, she mentioned hay fever. If you have allergies, this is not going to fix your allergies. I understand that that is an anecdote from someone who tested this, and I love that they actually had people test it, but like, let's not get into medical claims here because that is a big thing. This is not going to fix your seasonal allergies. Washing your face might help, and you know, taking some antihistamine might help, but yeah, not this. Let's actually pull up and look at the website, see what's going on here. Apparently the website was designed by Wix, which, you know, I've got some feelings about Wix. $22, that's actually not a ridiculous price. When we look at the ingredients, they're not overwhelming either. We have dipropylene glycol, we have water, we have glycerin, we have sodium stearate, we have 1,2-hexanediol, we have xylitol, ethyl hexylglycerin, butylene glycol, silk amino acids. This is where we're starting to get like something that might actually penetrate the skin. Now, I personally wouldn't use this because it's not vegan. I thought that this was vegan and cruelty-free. Is it not? I'm confused. Anyways, amino acids we know and we love. They are the building blocks to protein. Is that really helping in the under eye area? It depends on which ones they are, which they are not disclosing here. Like, we don't have a polypeptide chain or a tripeptide that we could look into. We do have squalane, which our skin naturally creates. We do have caffeine, which is good because it's a vasoconstrictor. Vasoconstriction helps with redness, puffiness, etc. We do have titanium dioxide and mica. So this is actually more of a makeup ingredient. There's going to be a shimmer in here, and this shimmer is going to make it look like your under eyes are brighter, even if they're not actually brighter. The effects are going to wash off when you wash this away. But again, knowing that she's in the makeup world, I guess this kind of makes sense. We do have leaf extracts, we have some Camellia sensis leaf extract, which is green tea, and then some tin oxide. So these are basically antioxidants. I would have actually liked to see sodium silicate. That's what's in this viral Peter Thomas Roth thing, but it's actually dehydrating the under eye area. I would like to see just a fucking moisturizer that works under the eyes. I can imagine that this is cooling, but like, you could also just put something in the fridge. I don't know. We might actually have to try and buy this one because right now it's glitter with some cooling antioxidants. I am not sold.
Next product, and this is my child. Please welcome to the stage the Where It All Starts cream by Nimya. This is a moisturizer and primer hybrid. There she is again, a familiar face.
That's looking like some chunky ass cottage cheese. Can we get a replay on that?
This is a moisturizer and primer hybrid. Beautiful, beautiful jar. It's just, it screams me. This sort of like diamond lid. Now you might be thinking, girl, what's that texture? It's a marshmallow texture. So it's not a regular sort of moisturizer cream type of vibe. It's a marshmallow. So it's very airy and soft. But before I did my primer, I always had to have like my beautiful moisturizer to get rid of like dry flaky skin, dry patches. There's like this routine to get the perfect base for your foundation, and it's a beautiful moisturized canvas that's sticky. And honey, with this, that's all you got. I definitely didn't want to put too much fragrance in this because I know a lot of people can't deal, although I love it. We have created the iconic Nimya scent. It is, I want to come out with candles in the scent. I want to come out with a perfume in the scent. Sometimes I spray my setting spray as a perfume because it's so delicious. And this baby right here retails for $30. And once you get this in real life, it's a big jar. And you only need a little bit. Even if you're not that crazy about wearing all the makeup, this is a beautiful luminous base that just makes your skin look glowy and just like, hey, girl, what's up? Even if you're not a makeup junkie, you still look luminous and glowy when you put this on.
She says that it's a big jar. The jar might be big, but the amount is not. It's 1.52 fluid ounces, so 45 milliliters. We often see 1.7, 30 milliliters. It's a little bit bigger than normal, but not by much. Now, I want to dig into this and find out what's actually in here. This actually reminds me of a product that I got from Skin Store with Skin Iceland. It has like this cottage cheese texture, but my Skin Iceland one is not that sticky, and it is really good for my oily skin. I am actually going to drive to pick up this product because I actually gave it to someone else who works with us and helps us edit YouTube videos, and I'll show you the texture and I'll be right back. Also, Sasquatch is upstairs right now, if you can hear. So that means that my filming is just f***ed.
3 hours later.
I got nuts. And this is what actually matters. Let's take a look at this texture. Do you see how this almost looks like fluffy cottage cheese cloud fluff? I wouldn't call it marshmallowy. I would call it more cotton cheesy, cottage candy. But this is definitely an interesting fluffy formula, and then once you put it on the skin, you can kind of get it to melt in if it doesn't fall off. I want to see this texture that Nikki has. I want to see if it's anything comparable. Overall, when looking at the ingredients, this looks like a hybrid primer moisturizer. Does anybody remember when Smashbox launched the primerizer? It was a primer moisture blend. I almost feel like that's what this is, and I am very interested and actually pleased to see that at least so far, these products look like more prep for makeup as opposed to, oh, we're gonna fix your skincare. In the meantime, if you don't wanna wait until September 28th, Skin Iceland has something, the Pure Cloud Cream, that I'm assuming would be quite comparable. Now I'm gonna go drive this back to our video editor.
Our next baby in line is and I love this name, and the fact that it wasn't taken yet is my biggest surprise. This is the License to Glow Serum. Oh, that's me again, hey. And she is heavy. She's been lifting weights. Like, she is luxurious. It's glass, here. This is the License to Glow Serum with a beautiful chrome Nimya orange. The serum is light chrome blue, and you can see it right here. It's like a little peek, a little window. And because this packaging is so huge, a lot of brands tend to do like huge jars, and then there's only this much product in there. We're being literally transparent. You can see how much is in here, and there's a lot in here. Honey, the day this glow serum entered my life is the day my skin said, thank you, ma'am.
Now what she's saying is no lie. The heavier the bottle, the higher perceived value we have. Because if you hold up something that is in a glass container, it could have the exact same amount of product in it that something else does, but the plastic one is going to feel less luxurious than the glass one. When we actually look at the website, this License to Glow is 1.69 fluid ounces or 50 milliliters, so it is more than the 1.7 fluid ounces or 30 that we normally see. And for the price, not bad. Now, is this the best thing in the world? Let's see what she says about the ingredients. The color is actually really beautiful. This is definitely an aesthetic choice. I like it so far, but let's see what the ingredients actually say, especially for me, who has acne-prone and oily skin.
This This has got pineapple fruit extract, and that is a mild exfoliant. It moisturizes and it is soothing, okay? So if you've got like dry, flaky skin, this will softly, the more you use it, get rid of the dead skin cells. It's got grapefruit extract, and that, my people, is an antioxidant. It nourishes and is moisturizing. I'm gonna read it before I tell you the wrong things. Marula oil. I didn't even know they had multiple types of oil, but then there was marula oil. And marula oil is hydrating, and my favorite part, and you know I'm gonna love this, reduces redness. Redness is the bane of my existence. I do one thing, I have redness. I do another thing, more redness.
Interesting. Let's touch on the redness. I wonder if she has erythema or dermatographia. If you actually see, I have dermatographia, so if you can see, just by touching my face, I get red. Check it out. No problem, right? Little light scratch, not even a scratch, just a little thing. Watch, I'm gonna get welts. I'm gonna get technically urticaria, a hive. I wonder if Nikki has this as well from what I've seen in her videos. As this is having its histemic response, the ingredients. At least she's honest about not knowing what they are and what they do and reading the paper, so she's giving us accurate information. I don't agree with all of these things. Pineapple fruit extract can vary greatly. Are we talking about an alpha hydroxy acid, or are we talking about vitamin C, or are we talking about, you know, an enzyme, you know, that's actually having an enzymatic exfoliation abilities? She's not super clear. I'm assuming it's like a pineapple enzyme. Fruit enzymes are great. Now in oils, is there actually enough in here to do the work? I'm not sure. And marula oil, it is great. It's a good oil. I don't think it's the best for redness. For redness, I would use something that is more of a vasoconstrictor that actually helps with the redness or get to the clinical underpinnings of redness. So like, is it rosacea? Use something like azelaic acid. But again, I get that this is a makeup product more so than an actual treatment product. And again, if you have dermatographia, are you seeing that? It doesn't hurt me, thankfully, it doesn't itch me, but for some people it does. You know, about like what, 3 to 5% of the population has it. I wonder if Nikki does as well.
Before you open it up, you want to shake it to activate all the ingredients and to make sure it's a nice, beautiful mix. Don't Photoshop a dick on this, thank you. I am waiting for like all the Instagram reels, all the TikToks, opening them up and then seeing this and then, you know, putting it on the face and seeing like the light blue drips. I can't wait. Okay, while Mandy's doing my hair, another great trick, if you have a matte foundation and you want it to be more glowy, just add a couple of drops of the License to Glow serum in with your foundation. Every time I put this on, not only, of course, it's a glow serum, does it give you an incredible, healthy looking, stunning goddess sheen, but it's also really good for the skin. And that's why it's priced a little bit higher, because we have all these crazy ingredients in it that actually work. This bad boy retails for $37, but it's so worth it. Serums are a more expensive product, but you know what a lot of other brands do? They give you 30 milliliters. We give you 50, honey.
Are the ingredients that good? You know, I actually kind of want this, and the reason she says shake it is because those pigment colors might settle at the bottom. But what makes me worried is that I have acne-prone scarred skin, and trust me, I did that stupid highlighting glitter challenge, and all it did was show off all of my acne scars, like a disco ball. Don't use shimmer on wrinkles or scars, like it just shows them off. That's why we apply highlight here and not here. But that aside, I would be worried that this would not be right for my face, even though based on the product aesthetic, I do kind of want it. Let's actually look at these ingredients. It looks like we do have water, propanediol, glycerin, polysorbate 20. All of this is quite typical, and these aren't actually technically oils, so okay. We have pineapple fruit extract, so I'm assuming this is an enzyme. Sodium hydroxide. Then we do have a grape extract, but we still haven't gotten to an oil. And then we have our grape seed oil. So this is the actual oil in this oil serum, which I would have expected there to be more, but there's not. They do have denatured alcohol, which can dry out some people, but for this, I have a feeling it's how the shimmery particles help to set up on the skin. Phenoxyethanol is our aromatic alcohol, which really helps to preserve this. We have mica, we do have ammonium, copolymers, benzyl alcohol, more fruit extracts, copolymers, squalane, which is another oil that our skin naturally creates, which we do love. This is not a skincare oil. This is like a makeup oil serum. Like this is something that you would mix in with your foundation. I don't feel like the ingredients in here are really that revolutionary. Maybe when I put it on the skin, maybe the slip and feel is much different, but on first impressions, this is not a treatment oil. I don't feel like this is going to help with redness long term. I don't feel like this is going to exfoliate the skin. No.
Please welcome the You know this term, set it and forget it setting spray. Now I hear you thinking, girl, you are about the 75th person to come out with a setting spray. I know, and this was supposed to launch sooner, and then I would have been one of the first, but now I'm probably the last. But it's fine because I have faith in my product. Let me tell you why. Look at this beautiful matte Nimya blue packaging, and then because we love blue and orange, orange on the inside, honey. This is your perfect soulmate when it comes to keeping that makeup on all day long. Of course, like any other setting spray, you gotta shake before use to activate all the ingredients. In order to make makeup last, you need an ingredient called PVP, and I've been told that I have some of the highest amounts of PVP in a setting spray ever, so I'm claiming that one. We do have a little bit of alcohol in it, but like with a lot of the like super setting sprays, it is just alcohol. So we wanted to find another ingredient that would give you that same hold, but not be alcohol. You can mix the spray before, during, and after doing your makeup. I've done some tricks where you can mix the spray with your foundation to make it extra long lasting. You spray it on and it melts all the powders into skin looking texture, but it stays there all day. It is mattifying, but not to the point where you look cracked. It's that perfect set. This baby right here retails for $25. It was supposed to be accompanied by its beautiful shining brother. We have a mattifying version, like a matte version, and a glowy version that was just but guess what? Some things didn't work out with the packaging and the way it sprays, and this will tell you again that we only put products out when it's time for them to come out. Isn't that fitting? When it's time for them to come out. We don't force anyone out. They come out when they're ready. And the glowy version of our setting spray isn't quite ready yet. We are working on it, so maybe in the future, but for now, we only come out with products that are 1 to 10 perfection.
I actually appreciate that. You know, there have been times that products have been created and I'm like, you know what, there's something on the market that's better. And in the business world, people hate that. They're like, you're such a horrible business person. And you have to take a step back and you're like, yeah, because I'm not exploiting people financially, because I actually want to back the things that I create and feel confident in them and make sure that I'm not oversaturating a market with bullshit products. I love that Nikki is doing this, and I love that there is an oily skin one, a mattifying one for me. This sounds really interesting. And she mentions alcohol, fragrances, PVP. When we look at the ingredients, we do have water, universal solvent, we have butylene glycol, we do have PVB, polyvinyl pyrrolidine. This is actually something that can make certain formulas get like chalky. If you use it in the right amounts, I can see, basically think of this as like more wet hairspray is kind of how I'm seeing this. Now, obviously I don't know how they formulated this. I don't know the manufacturing steps, but that's what's coming to mind. And yeah, seeing as this is the third ingredient, this is a lot more PVP than we would see in a lot of other products. We have polyethylene glycol 40. We have hydrogenated castor oil. So again, a lot of oils in here I'm seeing. Polyglycerol 4 caprate. We have ethyl hexylglycerin, raspberry ketone, interesting choice. Benzyl glycol. We have sodium hydroxide, a whole bunch of things, and then a whole bunch of fragrances essentially. And again, fragrance, I don't hate it. This is definitely not for the sensitive skinned. This seems like a really decent setting spray. And what's interesting is that we don't even have denatured alcohol in here. Now my question is this going to get sticky on the skin? Because alcohol evaporates off very quickly, and that allows, you know, product to kind of settle into the skin. I wonder if the mattifying one does have more alcohol in it. And again, alcohol isn't horrible. It helps certain things penetrate. It helps to dry things off the skin. This doesn't look like a skincare product. This looks like a makeup product. And, you know, being that person that relied on the Urban Decay All Night Setting Spray and I relied on the MAC Fix Plus, I would definitely be excited to try this.
If you've been watching my videos for any time, you know that after spraying your setting spray, there's another step you need to do, and then you're done. So of course I had to come out with the Nimya Blow Before You Go fan. I don't know how we got the name. I don't know how we did that. This right here, and I am so pumped about this, is my very own Nimya fan. It's mine. No, it gets better. We have one, which is like a light, breezy. We have 2, which is like, oh girl, I'm coming. And 3 is like, we are drying you, ma'am. And then when you click it again, it turns off. And this is just a perfect companion to our set it and forget it setting spray and just in life. You can buy the fans separately for $15, but for a limited quantity and time only, we have a bundle. If you buy the bundle of the 4 products during launch, you will get the Blow Before You Go fan for free. And we have set a limit of the amount of bundles that we're able to sell during launch. So you want this, you gotta act fast.
That fan looks interesting, but I got this off of Amazon and it's also got like 4 settings. Ooh, look at that. I like it a lot. It keeps the face cold. It's really powerful as well. I like that she has this as an option. I think it's very fitting to her. My question is, do you actually need the fan to make the setting spray work? Because looking at those ingredients, that's one wet formula. And I don't know how well that would dry down. I don't know, I gotta try it. I like that the fan isn't overpriced. I think I paid, what, $30 for this? It has a nice clip on it and a stand as well. This looks even more pocket-sized and it's $15 and the colors are very, very cute, I must admit.
I don't know how this is gonna go. Part of me that didn't want to launch for so long is because I'm scared. It is scary to come out with your own product. I don't know if you guys are gonna go nuts and sell me out in like hours. I truly don't know how this will go. In a perfect world, I would tell you to go to the website right now and purchase everything to your heart's desire, but I can't quite do that right now because you have to wait a teeny bit longer. A dream of mine that I've had for a long time now is about to come out as well. It's like September is the month of dreams coming out. This was one and I have another. And I can't tell you anything about that, but I can tell you that it takes up a lot of time. And that's why you can buy the Nimya products. Are you sitting down? 2 weeks from now on September 23rd. For the exact launch time, you will have to follow our new accounts at Nimya. At launch, we will only sell our products at Nimya.com. No retailers, no other websites, except for one. As you know, NikkieTutorials has a web shop and she has a small quantity of products to sell as well. Because you know, gotta support my queen. Glow babies, if there ever was a moment that you wanted to support me, show your love, show that you're rooting for me, I think this is that time. You've been there with me all throughout my journey. You've been there with me with collabs, but now I am standing on my own 2 feet and I am taking on this journey and I am a wreck. I am so scared. I don't think I'm gonna be sleeping from here till launch, but this is scary and I hope I'm making the right choices. Please know that this is all so new to me, to us, my team, that we are trying the best we can do. I can't make any promises, but the one thing I can promise to you is that we are trying. Over time, once we receive more questions, we will update them on the Nimya website. But for now, it breaks my heart. We are not able to sell worldwide just yet. A lot of countries can order Nimya, and sometimes that may be at a little higher price. I'm so sorry. We tried to get it at the lowest point we could, and this is our max. We are maxed out. There's not a cent that can be taken off of shipping. I mean, the option we literally got was either you pay this for shipping or we just don't ship at all. And we were like, well, let's give the option to you, the Glow babies, to determine if you think it's worth it to buy it, even though the shipping rates may be a little bit higher. But also, sometimes it can be very good because the USA, only $9.99. That's a good shipping cost. We worked very hard to get to that point. You don't even want to know what I had to do to get to that point. No, I'm kidding.
I respect a lot of this. Shipping is insane. They're not f***ing around. And again, I love the authenticity. This is scary. You are never ready to launch your first product. Ever. And I love that we're having an adult conversation with like an actual mature adult who understands that mistakes happen and she's responsible for that. And it sounds like she's prepared for that backlash and ready to try to fix it or try to deal with it, right? That is really unheard of, especially in the influencer world. This is impressive. Now, will the products be moldy? I hope not. I don't know what else is coming out in September, but like the fact that, yeah, they're launching it online, not with a bunch of retail partners. I mean, this is super difficult. This is really amazing. And as I'm looking at the products more and more, this definitely seems more like a makeup prep brand. This is less skincare and more makeup prep. And I'm actually really glad to see that, because at first I was like, NikkieTutorials and skincare? Like, I know Nikki uses skincare, but like, oh, what? These things do not compute. But now we're starting to make it fit. This is fascinating. I am excited. I love that she's not sending out PR. I know that I wouldn't have gotten PR anyways. I'm too blunt and brutal to get PR. Like, you guys have no idea. I want to see when this launches, and there are a couple of things that I might want to try. This feels like a makeup prep brand, and I don't know if I'm going to like everything, but I am excited to take a look at it. It is not very often that we see major authenticity and putting yourself on the line on the internet. I know that the internet has opened us up to more authenticity, but it is still not where I would prefer it to be. Like, I mean, Vogue and Harper's Bazaar are still out here filtering their videos, right? We still have people doing shady things online, and you know, we still have brands scamming people. And I think that this is really revolutionary, especially coming from the makeup world. I feel like the makeup world is even less transparent than the skincare world. Maybe that's because I'm biased, maybe because I'm deeper in the skincare world and I'm in the acne positivity movement. I have no freaking clue. All I know is that I am ready for this, and what is that date? September 23rd? I might as well just put that on my calendar because she got a lot going on in here and she doesn't want to forget. Do you feel like this is a cash grab, or do you feel like this is authentic? How did you feel about the marketing versus the actual ingredients in the products? Do you feel like this is makeup and skincare, or just one or the other? Like, what is your first impression? Do you even know who NikkieTutorials is? You must. You don't live under a rock. You watch YouTube, right? Make sure that like button is hit, and if you know someone else who watches NikkieTutorials, share this video with them. We're going to see how this plays out, and pretty soon I'll be driving over to redeliver this one, but another little swipey on my face of this cottage cheese Hansel and Gretel masterpiece probably wouldn't hurt, right? Send this to a friend, stay hydrated, reapply your sunscreen, and I wish Nikki was creating a sunscreen, and I will see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.